Okay, so the last thing that we did was we used the group by in order to show us how exactly you can group certain values together when you want to do certain aggregates, right? So if we wanted to see all of the prices or all of the quoted prices per customer, we group the customer up together, right? Very important rules are that whatever you have in your select statement has to be here, all right, except for obviously the aggregate. The aggregate does not have to be here. And the group by has to come after any where conditions. Now let's go a little bit more complicated. Let's say we wanted the customer number, the sum of quoted price, and the customers that have a balance over 800. So in this case, we would actually need the customer table as well. So let's go with select. It doesn't matter if you do C or O in this case. It doesn't matter whether you take from the orders table or the customers table. But let's do O dot customer underscore number. And we're not doing the concatenation of the name because that just takes too long. Sum of L dot quoted underscore price as total underscore price from the orders O table, the order line L, and customer C, where C dot customer underscore number. Remember, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter the organization of us joining these tables as long as we actually join them together, is equal to O dot customer underscore number and O dot order underscore number is equal to L dot order underscore number. Now we have this condition that is needed. We do not have the balance over here because we don't care about showcasing the balance. So we'll do and because it's a condition that has to be satisfied. So we'll say and the balance, it's supposed to be C dot balance. Always call upon the table first. C dot balance. We do have to coerce it into numeric. Is greater than 800. If we do this, obviously, if we run this, it's not going to work because we have an aggregate inside of there with multiple different customer numbers. So now we have to group by O dot customer underscore number. All right, so now if we do this, we're able to see 124 and 311. And just in case we wanted to see the actual balance itself, we can always put C dot balance inside of here. Obviously, if I run this, I'm going to run into an error, okay? Because I need to have the balance here as well. Now, the priority is my customer number, so I'll just do C dot balance afterwards. Because it really does not have an impact that I have this over here. It's not really grouping any of the balance. However, I still need it because it is in my select statement. So now I can see everything happens to be over a balance of 800, right? So 818, 825. But once more, let me just remove it just to showcase that I really didn't need it in my projection. Remember, this line is always a projection. So once more, I just basically have that. And if I were to do the select star from, well, let me do customer underscore number and the balance from customer, just so that I can see that it is 124 and 311. Just so it's 124, 311, just so that we can see this. If I were to do this, take a look at it. 124 is over 800 and 311 is over 825. Now you may say, okay, what about 412? Well, 412 was not in the order line table, right? So if I do select star from order line, which is right over here, 412, for instance, was not in the order line table, right? We don't see, actually I need to do orders. Sorry, I need to do orders, right? So we don't see 412 in this table over here, all right? So Always fact check your query if you can, right? But more importantly, a couple of things to note here is that you can use this group by after having an entire where condition where we actually are filtering data over here, which is why I have this balance as well. Now let us go a little bit more complicated. Let's say we wanted only customers whose numbers, so let's go back to the order lines table and see what, actually no, let's keep it over here, sorry, whose numbers are, let's say 256, 311, and what's another one that I want? Let's say 522, right? So these are all in here, 256, 311, and 522. So once more, I can do a select statement, select o.customer underscore number. All right, now it's going to be almost everything is the same over here, right? So I'm just going to copy and paste this. Copy and paste this. All right. So here we have the customer number, the sum of quoted price, because we want that. From orders O, order line L, customer C, where customer number is equal to customer number, order number is equal to order number. And the customer underscore number in, and we open parentheses, 256, 311, and finally 522. And then we group by 256, 522. So at least we can see that there are two 522s, right? So that's the reason why it is I wanted to at least have one of these that had multiple numbers. If we wanted to, we could actually do 522 and 124 instead. So let's do 124 instead. Right? So instead of 311, let's just do 124. Right? Because this would actually group it. So group by o.customer underscore number. So when it is that I run this, I have an error, and that error is I didn't call upon the table. Once more, avoid the errors that I'm making. You'll always get into those errors, but when you know what it actually is, it's easy to solve them, right? So now you can see that it has 124, 311, 522, and we can see the total price itself. And again, you can order this if you want, order by the total underscore price if you so wanted to do that, which it's already ordered by, but let's do a descending in this case. So if I wanted to do that here, you can clearly see that we're able to do that. But there's a different way that we can write this query as well, and that is by using what is known as a halving condition. So let me copy paste everything that I have here, all right, because it's the same thing. Select customer number, the sum of the quoted prices total price from orders O, order line L, customer C, where the customer number is equal to customer number and order number is equal to the order number. Let me group them one time. Group by O.customer underscore number. And now I can have a new statement which is having O.customer underscore number in 124, 124, comma, 311, comma, 522. And I run this, see it works, and right after that I can order by total underscore price descending. Okay, so now this is a different way that we can write this, by using this halving statement which comes after the group by. Now your question should be, why do we have a halving statement? Why are we given this alternative? Well, a couple of reasons. The alternative is there if it is you want to organize it, but it can become complicated, and in all honesty, I do not suggest ever using the halving for something that can easily go into where. If you settle all of your conditions in one statement or in one chunk of code, it becomes a lot easier. The halving actually is important when you're talking about aggregates. So let me show you a scenario why halving is important, or why halving clause is needed. So let's do this exact same thing again. All right, let's do all of this. Let's ignore this part. So let's just basically copy and paste this. Okay. Here we go. So let's copy and paste this, right? Select customer number, the sum of quoted price as the total price from orders O, order line L, customer C, where C customer number is equal to O customer number and order number is equal to order number. Let us say that we wanted the quoted price. All right, let's say if we run this original query over here, right, we're able to see the aggregate price for everyone, right? So we're able to see 391 for 124, 45 for 256, 549 for 311, 777 for 522, and 1000 plus for 315, right? Let us say we wanted this aggregate price to be over 500. Well, logic, based on everything we've learned so far, logic would dictate that all I need to do is say something like total underscore price, which is recorded as a money type, so I will have to change it to numeric, is greater than or equal to, well, let's just do greater than, right? Is greater than 500, group by the O dot customer underscore number. So let's say I did this. I'm going to get an error. The error is that, well, total price does not exist. Okay, so, all right, maybe total price does not exist. So is it possible that I do this instead? Sum of L quoted underscore price is greater than 500. Well, I'm going to get an error still, and that's because the money function does not work. So maybe I coerce this, but if you read the actual error here, you will see that it says something different. So maybe I coerce it into numeric. All right, maybe I do that. Now, we still get that error, which says that aggregate functions are not allowed in where clause. So if the aggregate function, which I want, which I need in order for me to break this down, to break this query down, the query being, we want the total quoted price per customer, but only for customers over 500, all right? Let's say we want this, and we're being denied doing it in the AND clause, or in the where clause. Remember, this where with these multiple ANDs are just one where clause in a sense. If we're being denied here, then what do? Well, the answer to that is really simple. Whenever you have a scenario like this, once more, I'm going to copy paste this because this doesn't change. We'll group by O dot customer underscore number, and it is here that the halving actually matters. So just to run through the halving a little bit, total underscore price dot numeric is greater than 500. We are going to get an error. The error being that total price does not exist. Okay, great. So then maybe all we do is we just use this line over here, the sum of the L dot quoted underscore price. We do have to coerce it into numeric. If I don't coerce it into numeric, I'm going to get an error. All right, money does not exist, or money does not work with it, so numeric. All right, now I run it. See, now it works. Now it's showing me all of those who happen to be greater than 500. So the halving condition, or the halving clause, is really actually helpful when it is we are utilizing conditions that have aggregates in them. And that is why this halving is required whenever it is that you are using aggregates or you have conditions with aggregates. Another way of doing this would be to utilize what is known as subqueries, which we'll get into next, I believe. I believe subqueries is the next thing that we're going to talk about. But very easily, we have this one statement, this one SQL code that helps us out in understanding exactly what it is that we actually need. All right, and this is more or less basically how you would use the halving and how you would use group bys. It can become complicated, but it's actually a very easy thing to utilize. So learn it, and it would become something that will help you create, and it'll help you create almost any query, and it'll help you mine any data.